David Boland from Racing's Inside Track TV, and today I'm joined by Brian O'Connell. How are things, Brian?
Good, David. And yourself?
All very good, thanks. Brian, you have a fine place down here in County Kilkenny. You're after building a new gallop, an outdoor arena, and you've plenty of stables here as well for pre-training.
Yeah, it's kind of a new venture we've taken on, myself and my wife Donna, and Donna had the yard here originally, the stable, so she was doing a bit of livery and that before, so we've kind of added on to it now. I've obviously been stood down from riding and finished up riding, so this is a new venture now, Dave. We've kind of put in, as you say, a new gallop, we've a new arena gone in, and yeah, we're kind of slowly developing away.
John Ormond in County Wexford put in your gallop and your arena for you recently.
Yeah, John put it in with his team. He's a very good team there of lads, and with the machinery, and they do a very good job. So yeah, they're fairly professional about the job, and they come in and knock it out fairly quickly. So look, it's he's a lot of guys are using him, and they're probably using him for the right reason. You know, he's doing an excellent job, and we're happy so far with it anyway.
And how many would you have in at the minute?
So we probably have maybe 17 or 18 in the moment. We can hold maybe 22 here, and we have the option of another yard close by a neighbour's yard, which we can kind of take 10 up there. So in total we can kind of take up to 32. So
you've always room for a few more if anybody's looking to...
Yeah, always.
And what are you catering for? Are you catering for anybody really?
All pre-training and braking mostly, David, yeah. So we take in a lot of... we're just kind of finished most of the jumpers now, bar these two here behind us are kind of mostly horses from the August sale, and they're all being driven at the moment. The Land Rover and the Derby horses have all gone home, and we'll be starting hopefully with the yearlings from next week, Doncaster next week, so we'll be hopefully starting from there for yearlings.
And how are you finding the change? It's about 18 months now since you last rode?
Yeah, it probably is. It was October, which is only 2 years. It'll be 2 years this October, yeah, because yeah. I was probably 6 months trying to get back with a couple of different operations and things like that, and it's nearly 2 years now, yeah. So it doesn't feel that long, but that's what it is, yeah. And
it was a fallen Tremor, hurt your shoulder.
It was a bit horrendous, really. I mean, it was probably a road for. Riding maybe I was 16 and still while I was still in school, and then from 18 on I started full time with Philip Fenton, and he was very good to me, and worked for Philip for 10 years and we had plenty of success together.
Dunguib was obviously the standout horse.
That's right, Dunguib was a brilliant horse for the career, and last instalment won Hennessy Gold Cup on him, and I was very lucky, but I was very lucky in that I rode for 10 years without missing a day's race. I don't think that I didn't miss one day's racing in the first 10 years. And then in the space of 2 years I snapped the cruciate in my knee, I tore the ligaments in my knee, cruciate, and that put me out for a while. Then I did 6 months later, did an AC joint in my shoulder, and then a couple of months again after that I tore the ligaments, and we did a good job the last time, David, so we did. So that was it was a routine. It took a good fall in Tremor, went for the operation thinking it was kind of fairly routine, weren't overly worried about it, and maybe 3 months post operation then we were a long way from where we needed to be. We hadn't really full use of it, so we back to the surgeon in Santry, and we operated again, and with the kind of hoping maybe to back around that March, April time, kind of Chetlow/Punchestown type of time, and look, it just we never really got it back fully, you know what I mean? Look, day to day I'm fine, I can manage away, and you know, but it just was never going to be able to take many falls or just having really full use of it, you know. But that was hard to take, yeah. That was hard to take.
I can only imagine how hard it is to take, considering, like you said, how well you've done in your career, with plenty of Grade 1 winners riding, plenty of winners and good horses as well as that. But I suppose on the other side of it, then you probably look at it, if you have to go out of it, you're lucky compared to others. I know that's the wrong way to look at it, but it's you're able to do this now.
Technically I was stood down for mine, but I mean, I can get up in the morning, I can walk up here to the stables, and I can do what I like. I can, you know what I mean, I can 3 young kids there, and we can, you know, go and kick a football.
Yeah.
I can.
What I mean is, I don't mean to be patronising by saying that, but I just mean you know yourself how lucky you are, and it's great to see that now you can put your ability to this now.
Definitely, exactly.
You know?
You know what I mean? It was hard to take at the time and things like that, but I mean, like looking back on it, and even now, and I knew at the time as well, I was still walking away scot-free. You know what I mean? I can still pretty much do 90% of things, and look, I can run a business here, and we're growing this as it is, and look, this is the future now. So we're happy with that.
And before I move on to the future here, just looking back on some of the good horses that you've already mentioned, Dungwib when he won the Champion Bumper, and Cheltenham was obviously the big highlight for it all to start with for yourself and Philip.
Yeah, Cheltenham probably was, as you say. It probably put us both on the map that time, and I'm still an amateur actually at the time. Yeah, that's right, I'm still an amateur.
And then your first winner as a profession, if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, was a Grade 1 in the Hatton's Grace meeting, the Bar 1 Novice Hurdle.
That's right, yeah. I think, yeah, you're right. I was an amateur. I continued to, I stayed amateur, and he came back in the following autumn, and he might have won his maiden hurl. When he's maiden hurl in Galway, and then when he's novice hurl in Punchestown. And that's right, I turned for the Royal Bond in Fairyhouse that weekend.
Yeah.
He duly obliged in that as well, so it was a dream start from there. Got beat afterwards in the Supreme Office, which wasn't the finest day, but look, that's the joy to take it to good to bad. And but no, he was a brilliant horse. He was. He was just plagued with injury. He was just. He was a brilliant horse that was probably unlucky not to be a great horse that if he got a clear run, but he couldn't ever really get. I don't know, did he ever get a full season at it really? You know what I mean?
And he probably wasn't easy on himself either, because he was a keen running sort as well, wasn't he?
He was keen, and he wasn't, even though a lot was made of his jumping, you know what I mean, he never fell.
No.
He always got from A to B, and you know, a lot was made of that. No, look, he was a great horse. Last installment was
you won a Hennessy on him, and a 3 mile novice hurdle,
right.
Novice chase at Punchestown.
And Davy Russell, I think he won another Grade 1 in around Leopardstown as well. But he was plagued with injury as well. He's a lot of tendon problems as well, and he won. He was off for a year or two, came back, won Hennessy, and was going to Cheltenham that year, and ran the Gold Cup, and unfortunately that was his last run. He broke down the Gold Cup the year Lord Windermere won it.
That's it.
So that was
Jim
his last
Pulte and
one.
Davy Russell.
It's unfortunate. I think he was. It's hindsight's really, but I think he probably was. He was Gold Cup standard, or he was as close as I was ever going to get to the right one anyway.
And you speak about a Gold Cup horse. You were lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time to stand in for Brian Cooper and ride Don Cossack in the John Durkin.
That's right,
and win the Grade 1 on him.
Yeah, Don Cossack as well. Yeah, super horse, ended up winning the Gold Cup afterwards. Yeah, that's right. Brian, I think he was suspended. Yeah, he was suspended, I think, the same weekend. And lucky enough, I got the call up to ride Don Cossack that day, and yeah, he won as well. So it was another nice one to ride. Yeah.
And looking at now here, like you said, the future. Plenty of horses in around, like you said. You've invested into this, and with the arena, the gallop, the barn. Plenty of fields here, loads of land to put horses away. So what are you looking for? Like, if I'm wanting to send you a horse, why do I want to send it to you? Like, I can see it this morning, you give horses time, and you're patient with them. Is that key for you?
We probably do, yeah. Look, we probably do it. I've grown up with this. This is kind of what I was doing before I got into racing, in that we would have had this type of yard at home. My dad would have done it. Dad obviously now works for IHRB, the Turf Club. But before that, this is what we would have done at home. But this is what I would have been doing growing up. It was always kind of breaking horses, and it was always around breakers when I was younger. So, and I probably still do it the old-fashioned way, in that we give horses plenty of time, and fairly particular about driving horses. Give horses a lot of driving, and we just give them a lot of time, you know what I mean? That we probably drive each individual horse for 40-45 minutes, and like that, just give them time and drive like that, get them out to the paddocks. And say, for instance, those horses there have all come from the sales last week, and I mean, they're probably wound and prepped and full of feed to get to the sales. just kind of let them chill out now for a little while and let them kind of forget about it there for a while and
Yeah.
kind of start again. And it's a very important part of a horse's career, because I mean it's you know, I mean, these horses possibly, if you can stay sound, they possibly have a career there for the next 6 or 8 years in racing. And I mean, if we get it wrong at the beginning, I mean, we're making it harder for the next guy, the trainer and the jockey and so forth and so forth. It has a knock-on effect, so it's very important to get this part of it right.
And that's your job. The trainer doesn't need a horse coming to him with you know, who's difficult and have to redo it. So that it's important that you do your job right.
No, it's very important.
And that's why that time given is essential.
The trainers don't have time for look. They are time consuming, and you need a lot of patience, and you need to give them time, and you know what I mean. But the trainers probably, like, the trainer's job is to train them. You know what I mean? While we try to produce to the trainer, and when we're finished, we try to just produce a horse that can be obviously cantering up sides, schooling, or going through the stalls, or whatever needs be, and the trainer can literally slot him into their yard and put him into their string, and you know, he's just as if he's been there all his life. The trainer hasn't really time for the young horses to be, you know, setting his routine. You know what I mean? We need these horses just to be able to slot into his routine and carry on from there.
You work for the Turf Club as well at Point to Points.
Yeah, kind of. There was positions advertised last January, and put in a CV. They were looking for steward secretaries for the Point to Points, and it was maybe a part of the industry I thought I might like to get into when I was finished riding, but you know, I probably saw myself in another 10 years time. But look, the position came up, and put in my CV, and there was a number of positions filled at the time, and lucky enough we got an interview, and so now I'm doing steward secretaries at Point Points on a Sunday. So it's completely different from riding, but
must be very enjoyable though.
It is, it's nice to see it from a different angle as well. And as I say, you know what I mean, it's still getting to go race, still getting to meet the same people. So it's grand. Normally, obviously, Point on a Sunday, the odd Saturday as well. So the horses here, you know, they only go on the walker here on a Sunday or go to paddocks. So it's great.
It fits into your schedule well then.
It fits into schedule well. So you know what I mean. So we're kind of, the yard is kind of fairly hectic here for the first you know, Monday to Saturday, and then Point on a Sunday. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Like you said, it keeps you in touch with what's going on outside of what you're doing as well, and keeps you involved in the racing in another way.
Yeah, exactly. Looking, and it's as I say, you still would miss the riding, but we're kept busy in the meantime. And I suppose another great advantage about working here at home is that, you know, the home place, our own house is just literally 100 metres down the road here, and you know what I mean, we get to see the kids, young kids as well, so we get to see them every day as well, so it's great.
And talking about Point to Point, and it's going from strength to strength. Some fabulous horses that are going through the Point to Point ranks here in Ireland and being sold on, whether it's in the Irish sales ring or in the UK sales ring.
That's right. Yeah, it's getting unbelievably competitive. The guys that are doing it, everything is just after stepping up. The riders, the trainers, the calibre of horse. You go through the sales results this year, and you know, it's stepped up even another notch. You know, the stores are even, the Point to Point handlers are even getting that little bit more for the stores again this year. So I mean, there's proper racing, you know, and it's not just the better tracks, it's every Sunday there's these horses are taking on each other. It's great to see.
Yeah, it is, surely is. Listen, Brian, thanks very much for having me down. It's great to see what you've done with the place, and I'm sure we'll hear plenty of you in the future, and best of luck with it all.
Cheers, Dave. Thanks for coming.